In the episode Vampigami, we finally discover something huge. Lila has been secretly working side by side with Mrs. Tsurugi, not just for the sake of Kagami, but to also uncover Ladybug's true identity. And once you know this, suddenly the entire season 6 starts to make a lot more sense. Because Lila hasn't been acting alone. She never had the money or power to run a full spy operation by herself. But with Mrs. Tsurugi backing her, she now has access to people, real spies, who can gather information for her. Take a look at the episode Sublimation. While Sublime's mother was being akumatized, there's a random man sitting there with a notebook. He's not just a spectator. He's writing down everything he was instructed to write. Let's take an instance of what he could have written. Sublime is still present when Ladybug shows up, so Sublime cannot be Ladybug. So this strikes Sublime off as a suspect. So while one of Mrs. Tsurugi's spies is taking notes from a distance, Lila works inside the villain's mind, taking control and firing anti-Akuma attacks, also trying to uncover Ladybug's and Cat Noir's identities with the use of the akumatized villain. And there's more. In El Toro de Piedra, we see yet another spy, this time placed outside Adrian's house. His job? Observe everyone who enters and leaves Adrian's mansion. That's why, when Ivan walked out, the spy followed him. He needed to check if Ivan might secretly transform into Ladybug. This proves something important. They're not just spying on Marinette. They're spying on all her classmates to figure out which one could be Ladybug. I'm almost certain there was another spy in the audience, watching to see who mysteriously disappears as soon as Ladybug shows up to battle El Toro de Piedra. However, the mission failed in a way because everyone left the stage, leaving only Julika, who performed solely. This struck Julika off the list of Ladybug suspects. Something very similar also happened in the episode Dark Castle. That episode was a gold mine for Lila, because almost all of Marinette's classmates were gathered in one place at Alex's birthday party. With so many of them together, Lila could easily check who was present during the akumatization and who wasn't. And the one person missing? Marinette. So in Lila's mind, that was a huge clue. If everyone else was there when Ladybug showed up and Marinette was the only one absent, then Marinette automatically jumped to the top of Lila's suspect list. That's also why some fans believe Aglaé might be one of her spies, feeding her information about which students are present during school akumatizations so Lila can eliminate more suspects. Every name she crosses out gets her closer to discovering Ladybug. That's why the events in Dark Castle were so important. A huge chunk of the class got crossed off Lila's list in one go. And Marinette? She was the only one left unconfirmed. But Lila didn't want to rely on guesses. She wanted proof. So in Vampigami, she set up the perfect trap. She locked everyone inside one space, making sure no one could slip in or out. This time she changed tactics. No need for notebooks this time. Lila set up a hidden camera to record everything while she focused on manipulating Prem. The camera captured the whole scene for her to study later. Since the theater was locked in, if Ladybug suddenly appeared inside the theater, then Ladybug would be confirmed to be one of the movie guests, and whoever it is was going to hide in the restroom to go transform, then gets recorded on camera. However, Adrian foiled Lila's plans and destroyed the door from the outside. This also made it seem as if Cat Noir was never amongst the movie guests, but came in from outside. At this point, I feel so proud of Adrian. He is the only one who has managed to keep his identity a secret perfectly. Only Luca knows his secret, and that was even Ladybug's fault in the first place. If Tiki hadn't stepped in to help Marinette, everything could have gone terribly wrong. Lila was so close to exposing Ladybug's secret. In most episodes, she writes down her observations after she detransforms. She crosses out the clues that don't match, almost like she's solving a giant puzzle. Every time someone is present during an akumatization and Ladybug appears, she can scratch that person off the list. Just like in this episode, Daddy Cop, all of them present here, were most definitely scratched out of her list. Let me give you another instance. In the episode, The Ruler. During the battle with the akumatized villain, Nathaniel and Mark get canceled off the list too, because they appeared alongside Ladybug. However, I started wondering why she asked that question at the end of the episode.
Nathaniel Kurtzberg, what's your true face?
I think the reason she asked that question at the end of the episode is because she's not just hunting for Ladybug's identity. She's analyzing every one of Marinette's classmates. She's trying to map out which student corresponds to which superhero, and she's specifically curious about what role Nathaniel might play if he has a miraculous. That's why Nathaniel revealing his identity to Mark was such a dangerous mistake. Lila isn't only after Ladybug. She's quietly piecing together the identities of all the miraculous holders in their class. With Nathaniel and Mark exposing themselves to each other, it's only a matter of time before Lila uncovers their secrets and targets them for their miraculouses. That is why episodes where most of the heroes unite to fight, like in Sleeping Siren or Reckless Driver, make it very difficult for Lila to pinpoint Ladybug's real identity. And that's how Lila has been calculating, spying, and narrowing down her suspects all season long, quietly solving the biggest mystery of her life. No wonder she's got piles of notepads in her lair. You can imagine how many people in the whole of Paris she had to spy on to see if they were really Ladybug. She must have struck out a whole lot of names. She's been playing the long game, and she's been doing it right under everyone's nose. That's it for now, guys. Make sure to like and follow for more interesting videos. Until next time.